I haven't done a type of video like this in quite a while, and as I am filming this, there's just so much I want to share with you guys. From the title of this video, I'll be sharing more about how I have been able to heal years and years and years of trauma with celibacy. Not something that I ever thought I would ever say for me, and just, you know, just the importance of it, and how this, after years and years of being a healer, healing has really changed and deepened with the energy and the healing and the perspective that I needed in order for me to go deeper in my gifts, for me to be more intimate, because yet alone I did this while being with my soulmate, and how that looked like for me, and how hopefully hearing this story and sharing my experience through this healing will inspire you to perhaps be inspired by this technique as well. And I really want to educate people also, what is intimacy once you've gone through trauma? Like, what does that look like? And to just express some of the experiences I've had to hopefully hold space for those who I know a lot of you guys on here who follow me have connected with my story as a healer, and I want to go deeper into that. I want to be vulnerable more on this channel. So I thought this would be a great way of doing that. So before we get into the story time, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like and subscribe, as well as put notification bells. I do 3 or more videos every single week, every week, and I also do meditations and I do healings monthly for the new moon and full moon live on the YouTube channel. So it's a space where you can expand your consciousness, heal and deepen, and just have community, because I really, really wish when I started my spiritual journey that I had this that you guys have, and I want to provide that as a light worker, as a healer. So how did celibacy help me heal my trauma? If you guys haven't seen my story on that, I will link it up here for you so you can go watch it. It is a very deep, very vulnerable story, so just to prep you on that. And it is really what got me to find my space in the space here. Like, basically be on YouTube, be a healer, be a light worker, have confidence to do so. However, we always hear that, and I get this from my mentees, you guys know, Shika, does shadow work ever stop? Like, does it stop when you're a healer? Does it stop at certain points? And my answer to that is that I've been learning more and more that shadow work continues to get deeper. And the difference is the universe just provides you with what you're meant to heal based on where you are in your journey and what you're ready to face. And I recently, in the past month, felt called to go deeper and do some more trauma healing. Trauma healing was something that I personally was just, it's something that I know is part of my purpose, and a lot of the people that I do serve have experienced or have hindered by trauma, and I do see how it's so controlling. And there's so much density and guilt and shame and fear that comes through it, right? And sometimes we don't feel safe to share certain parts, but when you go deeper into it, especially when I'm holding space for people, it is important to me, it is important to my soul to make sure I'm able to deepen that. So how I was able to really deepen that was with celibacy, and I should probably go over what is celibacy. Celibacy basically means that you are not active with your partner, and you just refrain from any activity with your partner. And it was something that I was actually quite nervous about, because I'll get into that later in the video. But when I got into my healing, as I do, I've been working on this trauma density for a while. As I got into the healing with my shaman, she noticed that there was a lot of anger, a lot of pain towards the person who traumatically harmed me. And she was saying, she was like, Shika, there's a lot of density here. And you know, as we all do, put a star emoji if you relate, you're always like, Shika, there's more that we have to work on this. I thought I got rid of this. Like, that's the thing. in shadow work, it's a lifetime thing, and the universe will bring us what we're meant to heal at that time, depending on where we are on our journey and what we're meant to manifest, what we're meant to attract, what we're meant to learn, what we're meant to grow from. And that point, the universe knew that anger was that deeper layer of what happened that I needed to release. And after doing such a dense shamanic releasing of anger, of sadness, of hatred, of destruction, of all of these emotions that were coming into my womb, into my sacral space, into my throat, that just was holding so much power out of me, she suggested, what about celibacy? The first thing that came through my head, which you're probably thinking, is, wow, celibacy, no, there's no way. Number one, I'm with a partner. There's no way that they would be down with it. Let me pause you there. If you even agreed to that or nodded to that, I want you to remember, we are not abandoning our emotions. And I felt the exact same thing. That's where my emotions went. But we have to understand that our shadow work, we are doing this deeper work to show up more in our relationships, whether they're intimate, whether they're platonic, whether they're friendships with our family. It allows us to go deeper. It allows us to feel comfortable in who we are as a being. So every time that you say, no, I can't do this because of someone else, no, I can't do this because that, remember, we always have a choice. So I removed myself from that mindset and I said, you know what, actually, let's go deeper into that. What made you think that this might be powerful? And I want to share this with you guys because I really think that what I'm about to say is going to change a lot of you, hopefully at least one of you, your life. And it's understanding that we have the feminine and the masculine energy. We all do. All beings, all genders, all humans, all beings, you know. We have the feminine and we have the masculine. The masculine energy is, you know, decision, structure, you know, making, you know, big spaces, having that, like, taking power. Then we have the feminine. And the feminine is actually misleaded. People think feminine is supposed to be delicate and beautiful and all of that. Feminine is messy. Feminine is emotional. Feminine is flowy. Feminine is, you know, the feeling, the emotions. It's who we are, what we feel. You know, how we create, how we allow our mind to expand and be and change and flow. Yes, we need structure to get things done and to do action in our manifestations, in our life, in our healing and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, especially with trauma, it's very, very important that we're understanding how to balance the two and how the two sides could have possibly been wounded and are wounded because of this experience. So as you guys probably saw in my video, I have mentioned it before, but this saying really goes home for me. The feminine is like a lily pad. Masculine is the pond, and they need each other to survive. The feminine cannot be in a murky, muddy lake, and the masculine can't be in a space where there is no life, there is no trees, there is no plants, there is no nurturing in Mother Earth. So together they're able to work and flow with each other. So bringing you back into this space of when my mentor was like, celibacy is the answer to this for the time being, for the next 4 weeks. What I was thinking is, okay, and she explained it to me. She said, look, these are the balances. She reminded me, this is why it's so important. And the next thing she mentioned, it said, and it really went home to me, is she said, you cannot open yourself to a partner, to someone on a deeper level that you truly want to, if you are only in the essence of the physical realm. So the best way of explaining it is if you are with a partner or soulmate or whatever it is, when you are with that person, you are sharing yourself, you are sharing your body. Your body is your most precious gift that you can give anyone, and you decide what you want to do with it, right? But what happens when you go through trauma? What happens when someone physically, you know, takes that aspect without your permission? You feel like you have to block it. You feel like you have to protect it, right? So if you haven't fully healed from it, then you also protect a part of that from opening up with your partner. You also protect your emotional feelings and feeling like you cannot completely surrender to your partner. So the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, this celibacy is actually starting to sound like it can really help me. Even though, you know, don't get me wrong, I love having fun. I love being able to share that space with my partner. I knew that that was very important to me, because if I couldn't feel safe, if I couldn't feel safe to speak emotionally or physically or whatever it may be, then that is not being true, and that is not being authentic in my relationship. And by doing that, I am actually putting a part of me that my partner will never get to see. So before we step into entering and giving that part of you and feeling safe to again, you need to come back to square one of your emotions. You need to touch base in that space. So over the 4 weeks, I spent a lot of my time focusing on my energy. And one of the things that she told me that I've been really incorporating in my healing practices, and even in my shamanic healings that I do with my mentorees, is eye gazing. Eye gazing is when you stare at someone in the eyes, and I think this was very effective to me because I know ever since I was a kid, I was always known as big brown eyes. People loved my eyes, and they always said that I had my mother's eyes, and there was this energy that I always brought, this kind of scenario to it. And it was almost like I knew that with my power and being able to see the beauty of my eyes and connect that and open that up with someone, that the eyes are the entrance to the soul. So during this time of, healing my trauma through celibacy, I noticed that I was able to deepen my soul connection with my partner more than I've ever done since we've been together. And this is something that you don't need to do if you are single. Like, you can do this with a friend, you can do this with a stranger, you can do this. They have like meetups in parks where people can actually meet up and stare at each other. Like, this can be very powerful. Just doing it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and holding space and just staring at each other as you cross your legs facing one another. When you can allow yourself to be vulnerable completely, you can trust in whatever you're about to say, feel, or do, you can feel safe in that person. It's almost like all of the judgment, all of the guilt, all of the shame was washed away every single time, or it was brought up. It was brought up because I had no other place to hide it, right? I had no other place to hide it. And that's what I learned the most throughout this whole experience was, Shika, you are not going to hide from this anymore, and you need to figure out what this anger is. You need to figure out this lingering sadness, this grief that you're holding into your heart and your sacral, and wash it away if you expect to go deeper into your gifts, to go deeper into helping and holding space for other people. And I'm sharing this too because I do know there are a lot of healers here that follow me or are watching this video, and even those who probably feel that they're feeling called to hold the space. And I think it's so important that we really set space for ourselves and just see like where we are and what is meant to be healed at the divine timing. So at this point, the eye gazing during the time of where I was using celibacy, when I was celibate for the 4 weeks, really challenged me. There were times where I felt sad and I cried. There are times where, I hold space. And one thing I want to share with you guys is when the two people are face to face, you will notice that one person will hold the space as the masculine and the other person will hold the space of the feminine. And the masculine energy is meant to come and comfort and step into that space to make you feel protected, make you feel that you are in your power, not to take control, no, to hold space, to allow you to release, to allow you to feel happy, to allow you to giggle, to allow whatever comes up, but to also let you know and say, hey, I'm here. Hey, you're not alone. And the feminine is where the heart is. Because if you look at it in this space, the masculine is charged on the lower part of the body. The feminine is charged on the heart. So the feminine will make the masculine sometimes feel uncomfortable because they have to open up their heart. They have to open that space. So I learned so much about how I was mirroring certain things within myself through this trauma that maybe was mirrored throughout my partner, and how we were able to kind of communicate deeper with just a simple 5 minutes, 2-3 times a week, taking some time. We choose a day or even every day if you can, and staring into each other's eyes. You can choose to play some music in the background or even just have it in silence. But this was so powerful. Now, going back to, the statement I shared here, I heal my trauma through celibacy. This wasn't something forever. This was just a time. And one thing my shaman said, she was like, If the 4 weeks comes up and you still feel like continuing, continue. Do it at a time where your body is ready. Your body is ready to open that space, to feel safe to do so. And you should never, ever, ever feel that you owe that person your body. You should never, ever feel you owe that person that space where you have to abandon your own emotions. And that's what the healing of trauma has really taught me. You should never, never, ever choose someone else before you, because that's unfair to their energy. You're only giving them part of you, like I mentioned. And then it's also unfair to your energy because you're not giving all of you. You're not being able to feel safe in your being as a human as you are. So I encourage you through my story of my healing and just going through this is that understanding that we need, number one, masculine and feminine. And when we go through trauma, sometimes we are wounded in those spaces, and especially in the sacral. And the charge of the masculine energy can truly heal and allow us to feel safe in our sensual energy, in our creative essence, in our sacral space, in our lower chakras. And we need to be grounded in order for us to tap into the world, to go into gifts, to go into this eras that you all want, and I know that you guys all have, but before that we need to heal. We need to ground with the earth and the Gaia and all of that. And then we have the heart. The heart is love. The heart is unconditional, and that can really allow you to strengthen your relationships, but also strengthen your ability to feel trusted and feel that you can open and trust someone else. And that's where we get into, if you can't feel comfortable with your emotions and speaking your truth, and feeling that you don't have to feel unloved because of one experience that does not define you, how can we possibly open ourselves more and deeper? Every time something, any shadow work, any trauma that comes up, just remind yourself, you know what? The universe wants me to go through this because I'm ready to heal this part of my story, but it's definitely not defining me. And also understand that we need that energy to heal, to grow, and to hold space in ourselves and as people that we are. So I'm so grateful I had this experience. I hope you guys felt really empowered through my story. I hope this really encouraged you to share about your experience of your, healing through trauma. Let me know in the comments. This is a safe space. Please be respectful to everyone here. And let me know if you guys have any questions about my experience, because it honestly was transformative with doing the eye gazing and being able to communicate and not abandon my emotions, which I want you to say that down below in the comment section. I will not abandon my emotions for others and to please others before myself. I love that. That just came through. I feel like let's pull a card, because I feel like there's a card here. Did not plan on it. Oh my gosh, this card is killing me. So the first thing I want to share is that the beauty of releasing trauma is that we get to rebirth ourselves again. Remember that when we go through trauma, it definitely does impact our sacral. And we got a sacral chakra here, root chakra space. I am learning that endings are merely new beginnings. When we end something, it is a new beginning in our life. It is a new beginning in our space. This is a beautiful mantra for you all to remember. And that death means rebirth. Death means that it never died. You never lose who you are. And you shouldn't define yourself from your experience here. Self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul and benefit me and others. You benefit everyone the moment that you say that I will not abandon my emotions and I will allow my boundaries so I can take care of myself and take care of my self-care and work with my energy. Because self-esteem starts with loving yourself and knowing that you're worthy. And I think that's one of the biggest things that celibacy taught me, was that my body is the biggest gift I can give and share, and my voice and my being and my essence and my energy, and I need to respect that again. I need to remember that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was inspiring you. It was just a little sit down video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, as well as put notification bell so you don't miss a video. And let me know down below what resonated, as well as if you guys have any requests of any videos that you would like to see next on the YouTube channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.